Thank you, Ms. G. Thank you for the introduction, especially to the SG of Reform Party, Mr. J.V. Jeyaretnam. And thank you everyone for coming here today, especially my fellow countrymen, Singapore. We are now, of course, facing a very, difficult situation in Singapore itself. Not only globally, or every country are facing the financial meltdown, but we ourselves are also, as a Singaporean, we know our budget this year is completely a deficit, and we have to draw into our reserve. Now, today's topic is not about that. It is about the opposition where to, and I think it's very relevant. Having known the history of Singapore, our political party are in fact found that it is hard to take on the juggernaut PAP party because they have been in control for the last 50 years. Another 6 months, there will be exactly 5 decades for them to be in power. And why are they able to do that when so many other countries, government are tumbling and falling apart, and yet in Singapore they are able to do that? That must be something they have done to use the scheme of changing our constitution, our law, in such a way that we end up become a totalitarian system. And I know all of you realize this. And as an opposition, how are we going to get rid of this system that is doing a lot of damage to Singapore as a country, where freedom, democracy, and the rule of law are totally not in our land here? This is a very serious problem. As a fellow Singaporean, I advise we as a Singaporean must be prepared to support the opposition so that we can change our system into a democracy, and liberty will be with the people again. The people need to realize that this is no time for squabbling with the opposition, saying that they are not able to present credible people, and etc. etc. This is a time involve the voter. That is the people who are going to participate to make democracy work, to have freedom, and to have their human right endorsed in them. And I realize that people is the rightful fountain of power. The PAP is not now using that. They know that if the people keep on having that power, very soon they will be out of power by their opponent. And how do they do that? When they come into power in 1959, they just go to parliament with a majority of more than 2/3. They keep on changing and amending the law until today. Our constitution is no more the people constitution. I would say it is the constitution of the PAP, by the PAP, for the PAP. No more a constitution of the people, by the people, for the people. And that definition of democracy by none other than the American president, the 16th president of America, Abraham Lincoln. And what is defined that is a very important factor for Singaporean to emulate. And it is never wrong. That man is really all the time being mentioned as the best president of America. You can never fault with him. He really makes sure the foundation of democracy reinforced by the founding father of America. And here, we are not reinforcing democracy in Singapore, and for liberty's sake. We must try to do that. And the PAP, we must tell them that it is time that they take the interest of Singapore more important than their party interest. It is not right time for them to carry on like that. Somebody did say about a politician must not only keep on thinking of winning election year after year. They must try to make themselves a statesman who are concerned about the development of the country rather than to think of their own self-interest. And the event of the last few days, especially the last few months, tell us that something is very wrong somewhere. So how are we opposition going to do to be more united and to go forward? I